Did it do the thing? I think it might have done the thing. It's done the thing. God, continuously amazed by technology. I think I'm streaming a blank screen currently, or nothing on it. Right, let's just get this side of things set up and say hello. Hello and welcome back to The Forgotten City, the game that we started playing a couple of days ago, and I was excited to continue playing, so I'm going to do that. We are in the process of introducing ourselves to various denizens, citizens of the Forgotten City. Forgotten in time and space. So, as I say in the description, hopefully today we can actually introduce ourselves to more people without as many people dying, considering we were just asking questions, you know. Hands up, just speaking to people. I'm always... I started... Oh, it's a theatre. There seems to be a whole aspect to this Forgotten City that's like... I think we were sort of saying this yesterday, but it's old, you know. Is in there's an old part of the town that isn't... Find me. Okay, I think that's a new statement. But a part of the town that's been, well, forgotten and doesn't seem to be as lived in, and then there's an aspect of the town that's more lived in. Like this sort of cave system. That being said, as we sort of step into this area, yeah, this is where... Is she hiding straight away? Well, we got a bit of breathing room. Yeah, she is. So if we cross that line, we're going to set off various things. I wonder... Dooley's note. I did not do it. Very simplistic handwriting. I wonder what causes someone to be put in prison in a city where sinners are... I really like that. Someone being carrying one of these golden statues away. After a certain amount of time, they must just get in your way. It's just like... constantly there, and say one's frozen here in this doorway. It's like, how do we get through? So, cart it away, apparently. I wonder if someone's job is to polish the statues. You've got to keep them maintained if they're so on display. So, what caused you to get put in prison?
Hello?
Hello. What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that
They
all?
said I did it more than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
I was going to say, that's my name. Liability. It was odd him saying that.
Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
I certainly can do your liability. Letter from Sentius to Dooley. Magistrate Sentius explains Dooley was locked up to prevent him from trespassing. I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behaviour arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I'm sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you the important message: the treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely that you simply misremember it. More importantly, since you have several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns which are strictly off limits to all cisterns, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated and why you should experience further lapses in memory. I love every single little component. Every character is a reason why the golden rule's the pain in the backside, and it's a reason to explore it. I feel sorry for Dooley. It says they caught you trespassing several times and that you locked you up to stop you breaking the golden rule. This is the whole, this is basically an encapsulation of the thingy-mood-bob. What do you call it? Precogs from Minority Report.
My treasure.
Oh, Dooley, what treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady.
We spoke to her, haven't we?
She's a nice lady.
If you give me the key, I can find out what it unlocks.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
So we can get someone else voted in, or I can break him out. Wonder what happens if I suggest that.
What about the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad.
Yeah, but these rules are fungible, and also today's repeating over and over again, so do they really exist? Maybe it's time we had a new magistrate.
Like Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Up high precious. Got you, Dooley. I'll get right on it. Before getting distracted by a million other things first.
Hello. Have we met before?
Oh, his memory is bad. Do you know a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
No. I asked if you knew a way out.
Please.
Well, Dooley, I might try and get you out of here.
It makes me very sad.
What do you think about the golden rule?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Is he capable of breaking the golden rule, being that he seems incapable of understanding the situation around him?
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dooley. I mean, my personal opinion is he should not be in there. That is a horrifically harsh thing to be doing. God, there's loads of people to talk to, isn't there? Shopping list. Things to buy once I've escaped. Villa on the Aventine, Rome. 2-horse chariot. Seat on the Senate. 4-horse chariot. Villa on the Bay of Naples. 10-horse chariot. 12 slave girls, pale and plump. 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 12 slave gir Weird. Is he the person who's trying to ship gold statues off
in
then?
that great temple up there on the bluff? I bet it's worth a fortune.
Go on, give me your lowdown. Is it Decius?
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Decius.
Decius. What's your story?
You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
Right? Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome.
Right, this might make some horrible microphone noise, but I'm just going to move it for one sec.
Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge.
I'm going to do it again.
So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
Please tell me you chose the other human life.
The girl? Weren't you listening? All my valuables or the girl? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
I think I see where this is going.
Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Commiserations.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you, there must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
He's in his own version of hell, isn't he? Water all around him and not a drop to drink. Have I said that already? I think I said that yesterday. Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her.
Plus, she keeps asking for a lot of money.
Shady for my liking.
Thanks, I'll keep out. Let's just give the drenched in sarcasm. Really, I haven't noticed.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out. Old Decius has got your back though.
What do you think about the golden rule?
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
See, this would be hilarious where you just have a gun. I don't have a bow, but I have a gun. Hasn't the magistrate banned weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, friend.
It's weird because it's sort of the fact that the time is looping opens up your moral compass. It's the very like Groundhog Day thing, isn't it? Where it's like, well, I'll try anything once just to see how it affects the system. Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
Let's talk about something
Certainly.
else.
Very well. Another time.
Yeah, so the current plan is get chatting to everyone because I want to see everything that's on offer and then go and chase some quests off. Oh, is this a bakery? Mill. A stone mill. It looks like flour and grain are poured in from above and the ground between the stones as the handles rotate. Recipe for Roman bread. Pour the water in a mix of oil, dissolve the yeast, blah de blah de blah. I mean, that sounds like a recipe for bread. Free bread. I wonder if that's a nod to the dole. Oh, what's this place? Some fancy red marbling. Lucretia.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cubulatus decius won't give it to me.
I'm sorry, I wish I could help.
It's too late. She just slipped away.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally, I'd treat her with resin of Silphium, a rare plant which is
What gives
perfect
you
for
the
this.
sense that she's poisoned? Because we're not
And I knew
being
Decius
attacked.
had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it.
He's a real
Then
slime ball.
Landlord shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die.
No.
I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
I wonder if someone like left a poisonous snake near where she was going to be or go, and well, the snake did what snakes do, and that doesn't count or something like that. Is there something I can help with today?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that Silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Medical tools, barbaric looking medical implements. Herb rack. Water and pestle.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Thanks, Lucretia. Lucretia? Lucretia. Thank you. What have we got on the other side of this main body? Yeah, but all these people need my help as well.
A fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world
England.
do you hail?
I'm from beyond the edge of the known world.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask.
Ah, that's why he noticed the clothes almost straight away. Why set up a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yeah, more or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, The more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
The way he says that with such a smile, it's almost threatening. Fair enough. How did you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares.
It takes quite a bit of booze to
This
do that.
time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you floated down the Tiber? Sounds like you overdid it.
Of course, of course. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Let's talk about something else.
Anything you like.
Do you know a way out of here?
Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
No.
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. It is a long story.
Why don't you tell me?
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Oh, the one we fell through. Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Got it, thanks. I wonder if the framework of sinning and the golden rule being given to us by whatever being is doing this almost frames the way that people talk and think about it. You can think about it the way he talks about the golden rule there. It's sort of this idea of this escape attempt being impossible to do because of it. Well, let's ask Georgius what he thinks of it.
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld.
I mean, are you talking about the video game Hades? Because yes, I have heard of that.
Learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do about it?
If we are to survive, I say we must each keep the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the
Yeah, I don't know
sages of
Thales.
Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
Oh, yes, the golden rule. That sounds simple enough.
Doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know, I've seen it happen. I wonder what happens if I start saying, oh, this is a repeating day.
The voice of experience.
They don't pick
I
up
am
on it.
sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
It seems people have different sort of routes with trying to deal with the golden rule as well. Who are you going to vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Let's talk about something else. Thank you, Georgius.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
I hope they do as well. He's brought them in to be models. Dyes for colouring clothing. These appear to have been extracted from plants and insects. Yeah, I think these games sort of have to live and die on their need to explore, and that exploration can be sort of physical in their world, as well as
It's a great temple on the bluff, and I think
conversational.
whatever is in there, it has to be important.
Everyone's chatting to themselves about this great temple.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
What's your story?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people, that kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Tell me about the city's history.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Isn't it common for Romans to copy Greek architecture?
Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far
See, I knew it.
older
I knew there
than
was
anyone
layers
could
of
imagine?
different
If
cultures and
only it was
civilizations
they,
here.
We could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
I'd like to know about the architecture, please.
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and
He does have a
distribute
bit of a
it all
face like an
across the
action
castle.
model.
It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish.
He
and
seems to have
farm.
spent a lot of time thinking about the buildings, which, you know, you got to do what you got to do to distract yourself. If they bring water into the city, could we use them for escape?
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible. But You'd have to find a way.
It does have a
inside
whiff of
somehow. Just
sort
please,
of
try to be a bit more discreet about it.
fascism when discussing trying to escape or trying to effect change into this area. Everyone suddenly takes whispered tones. Tell me about the temple up on the bluff.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury.
How do you know there's a
we're all
treasury?
left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
So the temple's
Of
important.
course,
Do you know a way out of here?
you wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Golden Rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not
People
too
seem
bad.
delusional on
Nothing
that
new to
point.
me, anyway.
As in, they've just been so worn down by it that they're just going to exist in it. What do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novio Magus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care. Which
Like
means
what?
one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I think so, yes.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power.
He's just here to
Then it
chew
seems
bubblegum and kick ass.
may not be an option.
I hear you.
Glad. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
I noticed the graffiti. Did I notice the graffiti? Apparently I noticed some graffiti. Why does someone think you are a sinner?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
You like men?
Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Novio Magus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or
Yeah,
at
but you're
least
still getting
I
graffiti.
thought that was the case.
Yeah.
It seems I was wrong.
Do you know who's writing it?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes.
So apparently threatening someone is not a sin either.
I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
What? Cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any
Christians.
of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year.
That definitely feels like that is
All I know is if these threats keep
ahistorical.
escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Let me look into it for you.
What? Really? I didn't expect that.
Yeah, the reason I say that's ahistorical, I imagine, is because Christian religion changed wildly over the early years. I'm not sure which stage it is at the moment, but I'm fairly sure they're not even sure if, like, the core tenets of what they believe is set in stone.
Please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect that
We haven't even had the split into Orthodoxy and the other one, Catholicism. I'll get right on it.
Come back and let me know what you find.
We're just side quest gathering at the moment. Is this one of these notes? Virgil, do you really responsible for all that destroys us? But it hasn't. A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells
Make
like
sure you stay away
ash.
from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment. This area is private. Please leave.
Sorry. Big old anvil. So, down there we know what happens. I wonder if I can save her life.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort with his... You have to do
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. He's still in there. Somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in the...
Do not go in there.
What?
Just trust me.
Alright, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
I just remembered the man in the shrine who's going to kill you. The first arrow before it shot at you, that sets off the golden rule, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought so. I just thought I'd check for the resin that we were after.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune. Ah, back again, I see. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia. But we just have to carry on, don't we?
Yeah, you were able to stop it. Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
I don't, I'm afraid. But I did overhear Fabia telling Georgius she saw something.
Okay. I need your sulfium resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Not reasonable. How would I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
What? I'll give you a whole gold statue. You're price gouging over life-saving medicine. What is wrong with you?
Well, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Alright, Shirley. How about if I just take it?
If you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want?
Is that what you want? If not, then hand it over now.
Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see one?
I thought I might be able to escalate things, which is not a nice thing to do, but there we go. I don't have that kind of money.
Well, perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget? Very well. Another time.
What's an ass hat?
Shh, I'm hiding.
Okay, Fabia.
Did you stop him?
No, not yet.
What are you waiting for?
I don't want to go through that encounter at the moment. Secundus and Cithra were together until the end. Ah, I'm just picking up on something here with my amazing brain. A lot of these graffitis that are ending are probably from the last civilization that was here, aren't they? We've got Sit Up Man down there. Don't particularly want to talk to Sentius at the moment. Is there a way... Let's have a save game because we've done quite a few bits and bobs. Is there a way of... Could do with like a collection of... There's a word that's really not coming to me. A database of like all the people that you can speak to. Especially because I haven't played for a couple of days. Ah, he watches through their eyes. I bet you can commit a sin outside the sights of a statue. Raised eyebrow. That's the High Priestess, isn't it? Right, let's have a run around. The other one I want to try and stop is the guy who jumps off this temple. "22 people. Have we spoke to 22 people yet?" There's always these paths off to different ways. I know there's bits and bobs of combat in this game as well, so I wonder what that's like. I imagine very Skyrim-y, but I suppose if you're doing a very talky story where your options of dialogue are cut down between sort of 3, 4, 5 different options, then running it off like a Skyrim mod, or as it originally was a Skyrim mod, probably actually makes a lot of sense, because that's something that engine does straight away. I want to talk to you.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia.
Yes, I know.
Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghast.
Actually, I really need to talk to Ulpius.
All right. Well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no! No! Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there.
Yeah, and this is the problem with
You lose
not
your
playing for a
balance.
couple of
You're
days.
That's the idea.
What?
I can't remember what I said to him last
Why
time.
would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life?
I know. Please,
I'm sorry, but
please, help him. Thank you.
Ah, so it's done that. Is this what Centilla would want?
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone.
You'd never believe me if I told you.
Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over.
Maybe I can help solve your problem.
It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact. And she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that.
What if I can help her too?
No. No.
So if I go save her first and then come and speak to him,
I'm
I
sorry.
can save them both.
I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love.
And find out what's causing
I'm
them to be
sorry.
like this.
Ulpius, no!
Ooh. Doesn't get easier to watch, does it?
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleola and I'd best.
That's a lot. How can we pass the test if we don't know the rules? I'm actually interested in how this does affect Malleolus. Oops. I thought I could do it. I'm gonna have to smash through a couple of conversations then. Oh, joys. Oh, it saved us back here, which is decent.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. Orpheus, what are you doing? What?
Right, I'll talk to him. Is this what Santilla would want?
Well,
You never believed me if I told you. Maybe I can help you. What if I can help her too?
Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Orpheus, no! I'll have to let them.
So now let's run by on foot instead of, you know. I'm sure I could use this. Yeah, I can. There must be moments in the game where speed is essential, I would imagine, considering these sort of methods of getting around quickly. I do like it instead of a fast travel method. I mean, he says he's protecting the doors. Oh, someone locks their house around here. I would say that's suspicious. With the golden rule in place, why would you need to lock your house? I don't think I've had a full conversation with Horatius.
What is it, citizen?
Yeah, he just led me to the Sentius, didn't he? What's your story?
I'm a legionary of the First Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say, and the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals.
How did you end up here?
I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing alright for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice
Yeah, because they have a
ride
set amount of
when
service,
I saw
don't
her.
they,
Not
legionnaires?
anymore. She's
And
probably
then they get
thinking I'm long
retirement
gone
and a
moved
piece
on
of
by now.
land.
I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl, and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum Fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river.
I do like having in-world real Roman or Latin, it would be, wouldn't it? Latin and swears.
No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose.
I wonder if he always talks off to the side like this when you speak to him, because it gives him like this weird sense of stoicism speaking to his ear hole. I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labour does the body. That said, Sentilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit.
What can you tell me about the magistrate?
He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic, lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
That's another telling of the golden rule. We've had two different versions now. Do you know a way out of here?
I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
You really like Seneca, don't you? Can I see this citizen register?
why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Ah, a database. Oh, fantastic. Ask and you shall receive. Hannibal, we've not met. Horatius, we have. Kabash, is that? Karash? We've not met. Oh, he disappeared. Malleolus, we've not met either. Octavia, we have. Sentia is restricted to her own villa. Sure, I'll give that bad to you tomorrow.
I'm not sure why you said it like that. But whatever.
I love how sarcastic this game can let you be. I wonder what... I know the developers and modders gone sort of full time. Let me see if I can get a bit more info on them. The amount of sarcasm this game is dripping with leads me to believe they may be from my same country. Australian. It's close enough. Don't tell any Australians I said that. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you?
It's a bit like a
your only
panopticon.
chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
That's what they tell you. Are you saying you're in favour of it?
What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept
You don't need to
my
make sense of this by
As with the
committing
Golden
it to
Rule,
other people.
I don't have any control over it. So railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote,
I really like this Horatius
"We have
character
reason
actually.
to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or
Not
fears,
because
to rest satisfied
I like
with
him,
what
but
we
I like
have,
the way he's wrote.
which is sufficient. For he
His
that is
constant
slow
references
is
to stoicism in the face of the difficulties of he's faced, especially ones that affect other people, are really interesting, because that's a common critique of sort of Stoic philosophy. Is it's all well and good being the calmest bastard around, but if that means that you aren't effective for changing the world around you, what's the point? So he's making himself more noble than this, but then you're not really doing anything about it. Where I'm from, that would be considered collective punishment, which is a war crime.
a war crime. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in times of war the law falls silent.
He's well educated, isn't he? Our worlds are very different.
Seems that way. War crimes. Ridiculous. If you like.
There's definitely a range of quality of voice actors in this as well, which is fine, whatever, it's a small game. I just really like a couple of the deliveries of a certain people, like Horatius as well. He's got a really good delivery on that last line. Who are you going to vote
Not
for?
that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation. The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should.
Wasn't this
Sentius
the
knows
same
about
for
it, of
you?
course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change.
Exactly, though. You could change. Or you could try and change. Can I help?
I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon.
Let's just say I've got a lot of time.
If you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess.
Vestal
She'll be
Priestess,
overseeing
that's it.
proceedings.
Can we talk about Santilla?
Business is that of yours.
I'm looking for
A
her.
lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
Sometimes fresh eyes help.
I suppose that's true.
That bluff is suspicious because I don't see what would have led my guy to think that. I'm going to ask him about that first one.
Cynthia was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Cynthia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might.
I'm
feel
going to go
better
to
though, I
Sentia
suppose.
now. I mean, no consequences. I know what you did to her.
If you're accusing me of a crime, you'd better have something to back it up.
You know what I'm talking about. Where is she?
You're grasping at straws, and it's not going to work. We're done.
Bluffing never seems to work in this world. But as I say, in the bounds of no consequences, really gonna bluff.
Citizen.
I'm gonna come back to you, Sentius. I want to speak to your daughter first. See if I can get to the bottom of what's going on with your other daughter. Not keeping a very tidy house, are we? I believe it may not be in the property. I thought she was bound to the property, though. That's what the game said, didn't it? Anyone around here? No.
Are they?
I wonder how they picked housing lots.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
We've had this conversation before.
We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the law, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here. I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened?
I couldn't stop it from being broken.
Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered, and do better next time.
Of course.
Now, I assume you sought me out again for a reason?
I want to talk about Dulius. Dooley.
You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been.
What happens if you then made up the rule that everyone is allowed everywhere? What did he do?
Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and most importantly,
You're sustaining him just because you can't do anything
a
else.
privilege that would be taken away from all of us were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule breaker.
Yes,
I will not jeopardize the lives of my people
but
so that one man can go free. Now, Was there something else? Thank you. I'll be...
That if he knows that I've come back around, then he knows that I should be able to release Dooley, and even if everything falls apart, come back again. I'm assuming she's trying to find something, but...
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I know some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
Fair question.
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
Well, at least we know blasphemy doesn't break the Golden Rule.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
Oh, no, it's real.
Oh, and I suppose I'll just have to take the word of a know-nothing barbarian who just arrived, will I?
Right, lower that eyebrow.
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. What are you...
Not from around
Really?
here.
I'd never have noticed. Now, remind... I trust...
Well, I was trying to help. So, let's have a look at... inventory. I have nearly got 1,000 denarii, which is decent. The citizen register. Aurelia we spoke to. Claudia we haven't. We haven't spoke to anyone in Malleolus' house. Demetrius we have. Dooley we have. Quatia we have. Fabio we have. Galerius we have. Georgius we have. Hannibal's gone. Horatius we've just been speaking to. Kabash. Julia. Oh, yeah, I'm not pronouncing that right. Risha. Malleolus. Notes not to be trusted. Octavia, I don't believe we spoke to. So we are missing some, aren't we? I think we have spoken to most people. Let's just do one more quick round of the place, just in case I'm missing something. Have we been up here?
Salve.
Virgil. Yeah, this is the Grand Temple. Sequatia. Oh, we've got the thing at the back. With the assassin. There is occasionally a sound of like a sword being drawn or something like that. I wanted to try it. Yeah, so I wonder what that is. And I guess we should be following up some of these clues. Oh god, this is ages ago, isn't it?
Salve.
You should just
All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
should just save after every major
No.
conversation, really.
Ulpius, what are you doing?
Ulpius. Good luck with that. I'm out of here.
You, well, No, I am out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
The real cruel thing about this is I have to keep watching this scene over and over again as well.
That was. I'll have.
So that. Doing speedrun strats. Yeah, I think we went down to Sentius's house from here, didn't we? Because we went through. Oh, what's her name? The Vestal priest. Came up here and Horatius was on this bridge. So this is going to be the tricky conversation to mash through.
What? He's one of. I don't see what. I'm not sure. No way.
Do want to smash through all this just so we've got like the answers to it.
What's that? Not that one. What? You're.
Okay. I think that roughly puts us back on par to where we were.
We're finally alone. You look at the pipe. Thank.
Needs to see the Great Dooley breakout at some point. Right. I want to do one more lap to the pauper area, just in case I miss someone there, and we'll start our playthrough proper, or we'll pick out an objective and try and pursue it. I'm not used to how this whole place is interconnected yet. This comes back around to here. I don't think we ever did look up here, but I imagine it's going to go to the Horror District, which it does. Because that's down here. Are we on the second? We are on the second day compared to last time. So do any of these have anything extra to find in the chests? Because, as I say, we're not far off having the money for trying to save someone. I get the Bloodless Shadow thing. Yeah, because there would be stuff in there. Because it was like wine and Denari last time. I wonder how many different civilizations are piled on top of each other. There must be a couple. I haven't actually seen anyone who is a direct merchant either, because there I've got... Oh, I've somehow come round in a circle. No, I haven't. This is a new area. New area, I wonder if I can swim. Oh, yeah, you do swim in the opening section, don't you? Aha. Does that take us over our limit? I find with these games you sort of have to, once you do get an objective in mind, just pursue that as like your way through. Because you'll tend to pick things that are the most interesting to you in that moment. Oh, I haven't been down to these fields yet. There is these golden butterflies as well. A bunch of goose eggs. I don't know if it's just been playing Elden Ring or what, but I see the golden things shimmering in the near distance and want to chase them. Look, sometimes you just have to know. Okay. See, but we've learned something from that. It's worth it. It is one of my sort of favourite things when it comes to games, is anything that sort of encourages experimentation or just messing with the systems at play. I often find to be the sorts of games that I really like, because it's like a form of play which is kind of, I don't know, you can learn stuff and pick stuff up and bring a new sort of set of eyes to a situation, but whilst in like a playful manner, and that's quite enjoyable.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
We did another conversation.
Again. Now, what?
Ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win.
I'm sure we could.
Maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me.
Why is Dooley in a cell?
Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. It's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason.
I wonder if he's trying to cover something up.
Gladly.
That'll be everything.
Alright, see you around.
Oh yeah, I was going to check money. Very close. So there is a solution here.
Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone, but always return.
15. How much do we need? It's about 40, isn't it?
I love your clothes.
Oh.
So
Don't you just love
exotic.
springtime?
New people.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
What's your story?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads.
How did you end up here?
Same way as everyone else.
Why are you still wearing your legionary armor?
Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
No. Why don't you have a weapon?
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid.
Is Rufius basically a doomsday prepper? Not much of a talker, are we?
If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
What are you dealing with?
None of your business. Employ the Ipsum Commensula. If we have to.
Do you know a way out of here?
If I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
I don't know unless I ask. What do you think of the Golden Rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
I know the feeling. I've lived through a pandemic.
Then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. While we're one bad decision away from being wiped out.
Oh, God.
Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
What do you think is coming, Rufius?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something.
I mean, they have whispered to me that they're watching me, so... I think you're right.
Of course I am.
Who are you going to vote for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
The voting is definitely central. That's something we're going to have a look at. Anything I can do to change that? I mean...
Whatever.
May as well be honest. So we've got
smile on you, brother.
2 options. We either wait for the vote to be cast.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Or we steal ourselves enough money to buy the stuff.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue.
So I think I'm going to go and steal some money. Because I have a feeling I'm in the wrong section of town if I want to be getting enough money for this stuff anyway. I mean, I don't quite understand how money has value here, to be fair. Because at the end of the day...
Citizen?
There's only going to be a set amount of it here. You're still just searching. 14, come on. I thought you guys were meant to be the prosperous family. I mean, look at your house. Come on, Dad, where's your lockbox? There we go.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh no. I haven't actually seen someone get turned to gold before, so... Oh! I actually ducked a slight amount then, when that archer shot an arrow at me. Does Sentius just teleport up to the temple? So that's us on to day 3, but we're actually in a position to start like messing with some of the systems and quests in place. I know it's been a long amount. What we're at, just over 3 hours worth of talking to people, but I think it's been worth it.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what?
Look, I can tell you spoke to me before because I've got your zipline thing. Oh, so my health is healing, which is good. I wondered if that was going to be a problem we'd have to take care of. Alright, Rufius, we get it.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot had something to do with Scintilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the Golden Rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
I really like that because it brings to light...
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Shut up, Aquatia. It brings to light sort of the two rich and it brings to light this. Sentius and Malleolia, same excrement, different smell. In the sense of they both just got, you know, tough guards out front. So we don't want to head into there. We want to go to this guy first.
How much one of these statues is worth on the outside?
I wonder if I could just rob it off him. Oh no, his thing's locked, isn't it? The one thing that worries me about just spending money on it straight away, okay, is that there seems to be a limited amount of money here.
The many shall suffer for the sins
Oh God!
of the one.
Hello. See you in a bit. We go through here, don't we? Oh no! Oh no! That's me near death. Okay, I think we should be okay. Oh, there's one more. No. Did I say it before that? I don't think I did, but so the plan there, before I sort of go and redo it all anyway. The actual plan there was to go into his chest because he was the candidate who was going to have that bark or treatment for poison. But turns out he's got a lot of money and he's a bit of a dick anyway, so let's just go and steal his money. It's a different person, isn't it? Georgius. We've met Georgius.
A fellow traveler from a faraway land.
How'd you do?
Yeah, I was just gonna buy it off him, but
The many
I
shall
think as long as I
suffer
don't go off into that
for
one
the
room, I'll be
sins of
fine.
the one.
Yeah, as long as I run up here instead of going in that door down there, we're in a better spot. Do some of the statues move when we're in this state? So I know their eyes definitely light up, but do some of them get out of the way? Because that could be a key to the puzzle. I know there's a door down here that... Oh, we beat Sentius to it. But that could be the key to unlocking some stuff. Oh, God. Because if some of them move, then we can get behind them when we're in that sort of zone. I know games will often gate things behind like a zone or an area that feels like you shouldn't go into it, but it's actually safer than you anticipate. Or like a mode where it's like, you know, where the golden statues are after you.
I'm Galeria. Oh, is that right? Well, just make sure you don't get lost in any other sacred places you're not supposed to be. Can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can we now? But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost and live by our... All right, friend, suit yourself.
I've already done that once. Yeah, there's a golden statue along here, isn't there? This door. I want to know now.
Fortune
49
smile on you, brother.
melodies fetch again with incessant labor. The water they have lost.
I wonder if she's got a good amount of money. Yeah, that's more worth stealing. I want to test my theory out, you see.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the One.
Yes, is the answer. But it's not going to be easy to get past them. Is there anything else in here? I bet I can't heal when I'm in this state, can I? There's a couple of other doors like this. Okay, let's book it. Knew it. Interesting though. I wonder if you can lure them away in a different direction, get them to attack a bunch of people, and then sort of circle back around to that. Feels doable.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the One.
See, taking that hit there is not good. First thing I want to do is this. You do get some slight noise when they're about to shoot, giving you some example of when to dodge a little bit. Trying to duke around, see if that does anything. Okay, we're good. No, we're not. Okay. I just want to go straight away, stop them gathering. This game's quickly changed into a heist game of some sort. So we're rich. How much money have we got? Nearly 8,000 denarii. Let's go and play out that theory for so I want to go and purchase the bark. That's my first step. And then from there, we are going to see if we can save.
A fellow traveler from a faraway.
I'm trying to remember the name. The lady in here who's took the hemlock.
Whatever's in that great temple up there. Salve, stranger.
Silphium resin.
All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Yes, super reasonable. Fine. Here's 1,000 denarii.
You have it. I'm impressed.
Bottom of Silphium resin, an extremely valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
No, you cannot.
Very well. Another time.
You slimy, horrible person. Then into here.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned.
I know.
She needs the resin of a plant called...
I have Silphium resin. Here, take a little.
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That
Hopefully.
was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
Maybe. I'm a time traveler.
I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes.
Didn't she poison herself?
In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our
Am I
villa,
right in saying that everyone who came here was sinned before they came here? Also, how did Sentius get here with his whole family?
I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place, at least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
That's the other thing with the golden rule. It does push everything so people are discreet, but that's not necessarily a better thing. Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease.
Didn't a lot of these people arrive at the same time then?
Is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain.
Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out, and you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I'll get right on it.
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how you go.
Hello.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But
Julia,
thanks
is it?
for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel,
God, Malleolus is doing
but
some horrible
Malleolus
stuff,
and
hasn't he?
Claudia are far crueler.
He's essentially caused 2 deaths on this day. Is that who's poisoned you?
Just leave me alone.
I feel a bit uncomfortable asking these questions, to be honest, but at the same time, I am one of the few people who's in the position to do it.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the world.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe and
Imagine that's very
I
claustrophobic.
knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much.
Well, it's dead easy.
So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Ah, that's the game. Thinking you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan.
I'm not proud of it, but yes. I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here.
So Malleolus is just kind of putting everyone in bondage.
I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was?
Kill yourself.
Hemlock.
Oh no.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with
You
those
want your
cruel
money
black eyes,
back?
and She laughed.
I kind of
She
have it.
immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
How was this not a sin? Thank you, game.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd
God,
signed
Sentius
over
is
my
horrible
labor
also.
For 30 years, and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden
So many people
rule.
are using the golden rule for their own
But
ends.
I couldn't be responsible for all those
Sentius is thinking that he's doing right,
He
you know.
locked me in his
He thinks that he is protecting the people. I think he
everything
has
I owned
that
as
sort of...
collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits
Ah, that's horrible.
while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing.
Hemlock.
My hemlock.
I see.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other.
You barely tried to
I
swindle,
don't know how
but
I
you
could
were...
have been so stupid.
You'd missed the logical connection that if... How can she pay him back if she can get out? So what happened to you
When
now?
I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started.
Yeah, we need to get you out of
Only
this.
This time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
Can I do
I
anything?
doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me. For trying
I
to
don't think
escape,
it's for you trying to
at
escape.
least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
How much would it cost to buy your
A
freedom?
lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm
He's
here.
in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelia set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps I can help him
I
too.
doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it. Yep. Speed running. See, this is where you need the mechanized zip line, so you can go up the what's it called? No, I could go up here. I did just see that the temple has a golden statue in front of it, and that might be a route in there as well. Thinking about it, but we'll come back. We'll save that in the old brain box for later.
Salve, friend. Welcome to...
Look, recognise behind you.
All right, well...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. Ulpius, what are you...
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you think...
I know, please.
I'm sorry, but
I do find his voice, like his deadpan delivery of the lines, very monotone. Actually,
I don't know what to do. I've never had
not
to deal with
creepy, chilling. I still want to say good luck with that. I'm out of here. Right, I'll talk to him. Is this what Santilla would want?
No.
You'd never believe me if I told you.
If you said you don't understand...
Maybe I can help solve your problem.
It's too late for that. Yulia and I made
Yulia.
And she's already swallowed hemlock this morning.
But...
If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that.
I've already saved Ulia's life, and I'd like to help you too.
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
Well, guess who's been thieving? Actually, I do. Wait, why do you need 2,000?
Yulia and I are in debt bondage.
Yeah, I know this. I see.
Oh.
Actually, I do.
Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
No, you'd be free.
Do that for us. A couple of complete strangers.
Of course.
It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
You see, the thing is, I'm going to go and steal it from Malleolus.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately.
This storyline is actually very smart as well, because it shows how...
But I have nothing but the tunic on my back. I'll go and take care of things.
I'll
with
get to it in a
Malleolus
second.
And tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Yeah, it's really smart because it shows how, like, Malleolus wouldn't be worse off without that money at all, but he is using it as a reason and a justification to keep Yulia, I can't remember her name, them two in debt bondage. But he could easily just get rid of it and make their lives significantly better. But the interesting factor to it is the fact that it's legal. No, not this way, Ulpius. Yeah, okay. I don't need to babysit you all the way down. Do you have anything else we need to say?
What you did was extraordinary, and...
No.
Ah,
I wonder if there's any other connecting factors to this, you know. Ulpius might know something about Santilla. Yeah, let's go do that. Now that we've freed those two. As I said, I am just going to go and steal it back again from Malleolus. I'm locking myself in, don't try and follow me, nothing good will come of it. Interesting. I wondered if there was something we could do with that. I thought that the golden statue might be directly in front of the door, like the last one that we dodged past, but it's not. Which direction? We want to be going down here, don't we? This takes us into the town. And...
May Apollo keep you safe.
Hi, Ulpius.
Shalom.
Shalom. That's... I was about to say it's a Jewish thing, but I really don't know if it's not. I just want to say it before going into this conversation. In fact, do you know what? Cliffhanger. I'm getting tired. That's going to be it for today. No one joined the stream, but if you end up watching the video, drop a like, and we'll get caught up, and we'll speak to Ulpius and get his information on Santilla next time. Right, we've done a double save, and I have to click the button to end the stream. Thank you, goodbye.